So I've been wearing press-on nails for almost like 10 years now. I wanna say I started in my early 30s. I am 41 now, so I've been wearing them for a while. I have tried all of them. Today we're gonna do a review on Olive & June, popular brand, sold at Target. I have covered a lot of the brands already. I will put those videos up above if you want to check out the other videos, but today we're going to focus on Olive & June. You might see these at Target all the time if you're like browsing the nail aisle. So we're going to go over all the basics, how much they cost, how many come in a package, what comes in a package, whether I feel like they are worth it, whether they last long, all of the things. So I'm just going to do like a quick overview starting with all those categories, and then we'll go into the demo. Today I have a really cute style on. They're like these little polka dots. I believe this is the oval shape. It's not my favorite shape from them, but they are very cute. It's like a puffy kind of polka dot design. All right, so let's start with the price. So they're typically about $10 that I see. I get mine from Target. This is probably the third or fourth package that I have bought in the past year. So one thing that I absolutely love about Olive & June is the amount of nails that come in the kit. So you get 42 nails, it's 21 different sizes. What I think these are specifically great for is if you have like a really tiny nails, or for like a teenager or younger kid that's just getting into press-ons, or if you have bigger nail beds, you will find something. I feel like they have the most amount of nails on the market. No matter how big your nail bed is, you are going to find something. So if you've tried other nail brands and you're just like, no, this doesn't work, I can't find anything, I am confident that you're gonna find something in here that's going to fit you. So if you're in between sizes, this is really important. I would go with the smaller size, and that goes for everything. You don't want something that's like too big that's going to be overlapping on your nail bed. So let's start what's included. It's like everything that's typically included in other nail kits, which I love. Sometimes some of these nail kits don't have everything and it's a little bit annoying. So it comes with a cuticle pusher, it comes with a file, it comes with an alcohol prep pad, super important, obviously the nail sizes, and it even comes with a card where you can write out like which size nail you are. I think that is awesome. It just takes out the guesswork. As far as like having the numbers on the back of the nail, it is difficult to see the numbers. And I'm not just calling them out, I'm calling pretty much all of them out. If you cannot see well, like I shouldn't have to take a microscope and a flashlight and struggle my eyes to figure out which number is on the back of the nail. So I don't know if there's a way to make that a little bit easier, but they should look into that. And again, that is for pretty much all of the press-on nail brands. So as far as their different styles, they have more on their site. I feel like they have a good amount of styles. They have oval, short, almond. They don't have the range that Glamnetic has, I don't think. They don't have the range that like BT Art Box Nails has that you would find on Amazon, but they do have a really good range at Target. Their designs, I would rate it like an 8 out of 10. There are some other brands that I like more as far as what they have to offer with designs, but they do have a good amount. So what I'm gonna do is I will put up in the feed here what they have on Target and like what they have on their website as we're going through it. So then you can kind of take a look and see if anything piques your interest as far as the design and the style goes. So let's get into lasting power. One thing that I wanna note is that on both of their containers, the one that's like with the puffy designs, it's more of like a, I'll put a screenshot up here, but it says that they last up to 14 days. I will say that is true. However, when we go into the application, if the nail is not flush with your nail bed, if you have flat nail beds and they're not curved, if the glue is not adhering, you want the glue on your nail and on the fake nail, you have to hold it down for 30 seconds and you wanna make sure you're like almost massaging around the whole nail to make sure that it's getting that tight seal. If there's any air in there, if there's any part of the nail where water can get in or whatever and there's bubbles under, it's not gonna last as long. And sometimes you might be doing something like I was trying to pry open like a lunchbox and I popped one of my other nails off my thumb, but you would have broken a regular nail too. So you just kind of have to be realistic, like, oh, it popped off, big deal, it popped off, glue it back on. I don't fret too much about that kind of stuff, but I will say that most of the press-on nails that I do, when I do them, I can get them to last up to 2 weeks. It's just whether or not I want them to. I get a little bored, so after like a week, 10 days, I might rip them off and put something else on. A little tip that I would recommend is keep that little wood cuticle thing even after you just use it to push your cuticles, because sometimes with the glue, okay, especially if you're new at this, and I'm not new at this, but I still have a little bit of a problem, it will kind of splooge over the side, and you want to take that stick and kind of clean it up and go around your nail beds, because the last thing you want is to be gluing your fingers together or getting glue on the nail and then it just looks like crap and you're not gonna be happy. As far as the glue that comes with Olive and June, I don't have any issues with it. I would say it's good. There's some other glues that I've mentioned in my other videos that I don't care for. If you have a problem with nail glue, I'm gonna put up here the Beauty Secrets. Just buy that, just use that every time. It will work, it's great. You can get it off Amazon like a 3-pack, or you can get it from Sally Beauty Secrets. So as far as how they look, I think they look nice. So this is the oval. I think I've said this before in another video. It reminds me of like a duck beak. For some reason, I don't love the way this looks. And another thing is on my nails, I'm not saying this is for everybody's nails, but this is just subjective to me. The nail itself, I feel like doesn't sit that flush with my cuticle as some of the other brands may do. It looks a little bit more cohesive. I don't love that. However, this is the oval kind. I find with the almond one, it's less dramatic as far as like if you were to look up close. But for $10, these are phenomenal, especially like I have a tween. For her, perfect. $10, let's go to Target, pick something out. So as far as the thickness of the nail, they're very durable. They are going to last. I clean with my nails on. So I would say as far as price and the money, these are going to run you, I'd say like anywhere from $5 to $10+ cheaper than another brand that I love, which is huge. And I would say the quality is just as good. It's just the shape and how it fits on my nail. I don't love as much as a couple of the other brands. But again, if I get the almond, I don't notice it as much. I'm not bothered by it as much. But we all have very different nail beds, right? Everybody's got a different shape. And I will also mention, if you have flat nail beds, these are definitely not favorable to that. I find them to be a little bit more curved. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. So let's get into the demo. I'm gonna show you exactly how I apply them. I like to have everything set up so that I am ready to go and I'm not reaching for anything. The first thing I like to do is to put on this cuticle softener. It says remover. I guess it is a remover, but really I use it just to soften my cuticles. Push them back. I leave it on for like 10, 15 seconds and then make sure you're cleaning your hands and you're removing all of the excess oils. And you also want to make sure your fingernails are nice and dry. So this is the little kit that it comes with. It has the directions on the back. Inside, you are going to find the nails. Again, there are so many different sizes. Comes with nail glue. It comes with the cuticle pushback. Comes with a nail file and an alcohol pad to clean your nail beds. And then, of course, the directions and a really nice, convenient section where you can write the number that fits each nail. So once I have everything lined up, I like to empty the bag of nails. Now, a lot of these are so large, they could probably fit on my toenail. So I like to tape this thing down so that it doesn't move and that I'm able to find the nail and put it down and then record the size. But trying to find the size is extremely difficult. As you can see, I'm struggling here. And again, like I said, all of the press-on nails I'm finding have that same problem. So once I'm able to find them, I start recording. This process takes probably like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how quickly you can find the nail and see. On the box of nails all the time, it always says like, it only takes me 5-10 minutes to apply. If you're doing it correctly and you're really taking your time and making sure that everything is correct and you're putting it on, each nail alone, you need to hold down for about 30 seconds to get a good seal. So if you do the math, it's gonna take you longer than 10 minutes. Now that all of the nails are lined up, I go ahead and use that wooden stick to push back my cuticles. You can gently trim them as well. Then you go in with the nail file, You're gonna just file down and buff them. I don't get too crazy. I just make sure there's no sharp edges and that they're roughed up a little bit. That's gonna help the nails stick a little bit better. Once that's done, you go ahead with your alcohol prep pad and you're just gonna clean up any excess residue and oils that are left over, and you are ready to go. While the prep work is done, it is time to apply the nails. I just use the glue that comes in the box. I think the Olive and June glue is pretty good. Now, it's very important. You're going to apply glue to both the nail bed itself and the press-on nail, and you are going to gently press down, moving from your cuticle down to the length of the nail, and hold for 30 seconds. Now, I use that wooden stick to remove any of the excess glue that has spilled over. You don't want to put too much glue. You want to get that sweet spot. You want it to get a little tacky. That's the way that it's going to adhere, and that's the way that is going to last. You can see in this shot right here the way the nail shape and why I don't like it for the oval. I like the almond better. I just feel like it's too like duck beakish looking, and it doesn't look the best on my cuticle area, like where the nail starts. For the way my nail beds are shaped, I'm just saying it doesn't look the most natural. And for the final step, I like to apply a bit of cuticle oil. I also avoid getting them wet for a couple hours to make sure the glue is really dried. This is a close-up. I'll put another one of me like outside in natural light of them all done. And I love them. I think they're great. I think they're absolutely worth trying. I'd say they are the best press-on nail that you can find for $10 unless you find some of the other brands on sale, but I love them. I will continue to buy them, and I will link everything down below in the description if you want to check it out. And then I'm also going to put up above all of my nail videos. I've done reviews, comparisons, so go ahead and check them out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.